Part of my delegation was the Foreign Secretary, Alan Peter Cayetano, the other members of the Cabinet, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte Carpio, Lieutenant General Benjamin Madrigal Jr., Commander, Eastern Mindanao Command, Police Chief Superintendent Manuel Gairlan, mga kasama ko sa gobyerno, akong mga kaigsuunan. I am glad to be back from my official visit to China from Davao Forum for Asia Annual Conference. Together with leaders, we discussed the importance of an open and innovative Asia for greater global prosperity. We recognize that Asia is a key global growth engine, and we strongly emphasize the need for economic cooperation, coordination, and collaboration to achieve the development of our people, what this is deserved. I understand the importance of providing a safe, secure, and stable environment in the region's land, waters for economic to thrive. I reiterate the Philippines' commitment to do more to encourage greater investment into the country. I stressed our emphasis on infrastructure, innovation, interconnectivity to drive domestic growth. Most importantly, we received support for the Philippines' plan for inclusive growth and sustainable development. The 9 business agreements signed during my visit yielded an estimated value of $9 to $8 billion in investments. These are projected to generate more than 10,000 jobs for our countrymen and women. The Chinese government also provided 500 million renminbi in assistance grant. So maybe we'll discuss that later of what I will do with the money. Among these is the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, of the employment of Filipino teachers for English language in China. This allows for the employment of 2,000 Filipinos English language teachers starting this year and will be valid for 2 years, subject to renewal. In my meeting with President Xi Jinping, we affirmed our commitment to sustain the vigor of Philippine-China relations. We both underscored the need for further intensify cooperation, trade, and investments, tourism, agriculture, defense, science, and technology, and energy, among other things. The Philippines will continue to seek the expansion of areas of mutual beneficial collaboration consistent with our laws. During my working visit to Hong Kong, I met with our dear kababayans. I reported to them the developments at home and reiterated my vow to do everything to help improve the situation at home. This latest visit underscores yet again the need for the Philippines to seek its destiny in Asia. We recognize that our neighbors in the region are our partners and friends with whom we can work with to achieve shared prosperity. I will continue to harness diplomacy to advance our national economic and security interests. In everything I do, I have as my inspiration the stories of our hard-working countrymen and women who have sacrificed everything for a more comfortable life for their families. I will uphold my solemn oath to do my utmost to provide a comfortable life for all during my watch as President. With that, I say Thank you also for being here, and I can maybe answer a few questions from the media.
Mr. President, we have Edith Regalado of the Philippine Star.
You always start with the Philippine Star. It's shining brightly with you around, Ms. Regalado.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
I'm just trying to figure out how it will fare if you are not around.
Sir, ano muna, sir? This is the first time that our mayor, Inday Sara, joined you in a foreign trip and in an official event like that, such the one in Buao. So, would we see more of her in the coming trips or in your coming engagements?
No, I don't think that would be a one answer for that. She was invited.
Yeah.
So she went there per invitation. Yeah. I don't know about other trips coming along my way during my term, whether or not they would allow or maybe invite my family, my friends like you. Hindi ko masagot yan with certainty. She was there because she was invited.
Yes, sir. Sir, another question po, sir. Next month would be the barangay elections. And then you have been saying all along that almost 40 or how many % of the barangay captains or barangay officials in the country are into the illegal drug trade. So it's already next month. What have we done, or are you going to what would be the campaign against those barangay executives?
Okay, I will address the public by just saying that I told the Congress of the Republic of the Philippines that ang droga, in a scale of 1 to 10, the danger level is something like, until now, almost 6. It used to be about 8 and 1/2. Ngayon, pababa 6, but hindi pa kontrolado ng gobyerno ang trade sa droga. So, I think this, if you guys out there operating the laboratories, but like any other nation now, shabu is going in and out of the country, and the VO now, the FAD is yung para sa may pera, cocaine is coming in very fast. But it's not as pervasive as shabu, because cocaine is hard to sell, very expensive. I don't know how to make it, but there's a process for that. And it's more, well, at least organic. So I don't think that is really as vicious and as dangerous as shabu. Most of the Americans are, the addicts, I mean, are on cocaine and heroin. Hindi pa dumating sa atin yan dito. Unless we allow criminal syndicates to operate here again. Maybe with the one danger is the cartel of the South America would connect with the criminal syndicates in Asia. Yan mahirapan. We have discussed that with during my meeting with the President. And during the bilateral, he mentioned it several times in front of my cabinet about the need for really a focus attention to drugs, because they have also the same problem. And mind you, they execute people. Indonesia has the same problem. Malaysia not so much, but mas hindi lang napapublish, but I know that we do the President also same problem with drugs. It's going to be a long fight. It will transcend my presidency. And the next president has to deal with it eyeball to eyeball, whether he likes it or not. The motivation there is profit. Kaya itong mga, balik ako, sinasabi ko yan, dahil itong mga barangay captains, yung iba, pati municipal mayors and city mayors, kaya nga namamatay ang mga kasi pumasok. You know, ang Cebu, if you have a capital of just 1,000 overnight, it can blossom into something like millions. Because it is a craving, it's like food. And every criminal addict, they are criminals because takers are also punished. They are not the innocent bystanders. You are not supposed. Kahina naman ang ulo mo kung sabihin mo na nadala ka ng mahila ka sa droga. I pity those guys. Alam mo ang IQ niya mga yan? 14. You know that's a very dangerous thing and you go do it. Kaya ito hindi ko masigurado but just a warning. To sino man yung tumatakbo ngayon, the same policy will apply to you. And the same strategy that I'm adopting is good until the end of my term, to the very last day. So, yan, sinabi ko sa Congress, hindi pa natin masyadong kontrolado. But it's a listening. I said it's about 6. But you know, my job is to see to it that there is no scale to use the danger of drugs. Kung maaari lang, 0. Do not, kayong mga drogista, do not help me attain my objective at the expense of your lives. Di ba? Ganun lang ang laro dyan. Kung maabot ko yung ambisyon na 0, and it could cost you your life, or your liberty for that matter, because the police and the military will be active against it. It's plain law enforcement.
Thank you, sir.
Nag-warning lang ako.
Opo, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ngayong buntag, Mayor.
Ngayong buntag po, Prisco.
I am Ruth Palo, the Mandan of Radio Pilipinas.
Tuog ka siguro na.
Sir, in relation to the barangay elections, the PNP said that you have the list of the barangay officials who are involved in illegal drugs. Are you going to release the list of the names of the barangay officials, sir?
I will sleep on that issue. I'll give it a thought. I'll sleep on it maybe sometime. Kasi I have to make sure that it does not affect the freedom of the people to elect their own leaders because this is democracy. So I have to think about this crucial issue. The choice of the people, but then again letting them know that you might just elect the wrong guy. And then we go back into this rigmarole again of denials and everything, and even mayors getting killed along the way. Basta ako dito sa drugs, zero tolerance ako. There is no middle ground here. Hindi ako maglalaro sa droga. I do not talk to criminals. Kaya magkaharap tayo, eventually, because I know it from as a mayor for the longest time, you are caught, you are brought to my office, and you start to say you a narrative of apologies. I do not go for that kind of... basta dito, no quarters given, no quarters asked. Zero tolerance ako sa drug. Magkasala ka na ng iba. Magnakaw ka na lang ng aeroplano dyan, no? Okay lang sa akin.
Second President, on the resumption of peace talks with CPP-NPA, are you giving timeline to when to start the talks? Because the Makabayan Bloc said that the peace talks should not be, it should be unconditional.
It's not a condition, it's a timeline. There are no conditions given. Alam mo yung sinasabi nilang, do they understand the nomenclature of a timeline and conditions? During the 2 months period, you will not, I will give my demands and they can also have theirs. And that is where we start negotiating. Pero yung timeline, alam mo bakit? Ganito yan. And may I explain it for the nth time. I have invited everybody outside of the Philippines who are communist members to come home, the leaders, and we can talk. I will give them my personal and official guarantee na during the 2 months na magpunta sila dito, they will not be arrested, they will not be molested, and they will not be whatever, caused any inconvenience. Ngayon, ang una kong sinasabi, this is not ito ang una ko, this is really the ceasefire, no taxation, no atrocities, no nothing. Just come here as a plain citizen. You are protected by our policy of reapproachment with an open heart. And wala man sila yung pera, kaya nanununog yung mga... Kasi yung hindi magbigay, sunugin nila. If you continue to do that, then forget about talking. You tell the Makabayan to just... there has to be a ceasefire. Not a single shot fired. Baski di bomba o di pump gun, a rifle. No taxation, no just stay. And I believe that they will have the camps where they can stay in the meantime. Walang mga pera yan. So I will not allow taxation. That is why I said, ako ang gagastos. If I want peace, I must invest in peace. So umuwi kayo dito, ako magbayad ng lahat. Hotel, pagkain, pero hanggang dyan lang. Good time, charge mo yun sa iba. Tapos, lahat ng mga kampo nila, mag-deliver ako ng assistance. Pagkain, just to hold the line. Until such time, maybe in the fullness of God's time, we might have a concrete and substantial peace agreement to sign. So yan ang sabi, bakit ako nagmamadali. Paabutin ko ng Disyembre yan, maubos ang pera ko, hindi naman to akin, and it's an extraordinary expense. I don't know how I would explain it to Congress, because pera ito ng bayan, and of course, Congress has always a say on how we spend our money. This one, I'll try to explain it to them that this is in furtherance of my desire, of our desire, of the nation's desire to have peace.
Thank you, sir.
Mayong buntag, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alan Nawal sa Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Ano dyan pa kayo?
Wa pa man, sir? My first question is, your satisfaction rating remained very high, positive 56%. Pero doon ay mga observation, sir, nga sa Luzon o sa Metro Manila nibaba ka og mga 11%. So doon na ba kay mga statement?
I'm trying my best, my very best. If my very best is not good enough for all people, for all times, I'm sorry. I'm already in office. I'm elected. I have my mandate and I have my promises to keep. I am complying with my promise. You can say it with your naked eyes. Sabi ko, ano bang, I only promised what during the election? That was, kaya ako nauna, I was always the first to end, even during the debates. I have extra seconds and say, I'm true. One is that corruption. At least everybody can see to it that I am really doing it. And there will be more dismissals in government. Second, that I will stop, kung kaya ko, or reduce it to the barest minimum, drugs. Kung hindi pa ninyo naintindihan yan, then I said that I will seek out the enemies of the state. I'm referring to the insurgency of the communists and the insurgency ng ating Moro under that grouping. Then I said I would not tinker or intervene in matters about governance, lalo na sa contracts. So I'd like to publicly say, nandyan yung mga cabinet members, no transaction of government, especially yung mga contracts of public works, infrastructure, railroad, these papers do not reach my office. I do not allow it. Diyan lang yan. Kumbaga project yan ng trade o foreign affairs or labor o kay Roque, kanya yan. Hindi ako nakikialam. Walang papel dumadaan sa akin. Purchase of car, what? Not even a single thumbtack. Hindi maabot sa akin. So, ako, whether you like it or not, tapos na yung election para sa akin. I do not go for any percentage acceptability. It's you who has to accept my performance because I promise it to the people. Yang drugs na yan, talagang tatapusin ko kayo hanggang katapusan. Corruption. Nakikita mo naman lahat. Tapos talking with the enemies. We're trying. Belio and Doresa are it all the time. Yung economic advisor ko, whether it is energy or malampaya, solve it yourself because I trust you. That's the reason why you are here, because I trust you. So do it. So as long as it does not really go to corruption, I'm comfortable.
Thank you.
Kung sabihin mo nagbaba ako kasi corrupt ako na pagkatao, ayan sabihin ko sa mga tao, then naloko kayo. Pero itong apat na ito, talagang sa higher tinyo Sandy, mapopular mo. I'm even willing to go minus 10 degrees. I do not care. Tapos na ako. I do not have to be popular because I do not need it. I'd be something like in distress. If nagkakampanya ako, then I say, you're now on the 20, yesterday you were 24. Now, nandito ka na ngayon sa 18. Then I have to, give it a thought and maybe lose some sleep. Ngayon, tapos na yan. I do not care about how you rate me. That is not my job. My job is not to watch for these rates. My job is to implement what I promised. Ginagawa ko po yung apat na yan. Simultaneous. Makita naman ninyo. I did not promise you anything. Wala nga akong mention noon na I mentioned to you about infrastructure, about these things. But now, I see something that's maybe a part of our swerte sa buhay. We have secured so many billions and that 500 renminbi, gratis yan ha. Walang kundi, there's no contract about building a railroad. It's 4 billion straight. Gratis lang. Now this time, I will ask maybe permission from Congress gusto ko na malaman rin nila because I said sila yung tigatingin ng pera. It might be good at this early na pag-usapan na lang namin. But I would suggest hospitals. The first one is I will repair and equip the hospitals in the south, particularly in Jolo and Basilan. Wala silang CT scan, wala silang MRI, walang and competent doctors. But ngayon kasi, they can just feed it doon sa machine and the reading of the X-ray can be done in Manila with the experts and they can transmit or convey their improved diagnosis if there need be one. Ganon yan. And maybe sa medicines for gusto ko ibigay muna ito sa those really urgently immediate ang needs. Yung kailangan na ngayon hindi mo pwedeng hindi na makagaya ng infrastructure na you can put it off to some other day because today is a rainy day. Ang sakit, ang problema hindi.
Daghang salamat, sir.
Good morning, Mayor President. My name is Ian Cruz of GMA7, sir. GMA News. Sir, can you share some details of your bilateral meeting with President Xi, particularly with CRO, sir, and with the possible joint exploration with China, if you may, sir?
All that China needs actually is the cooperation. Yun lang. Open your doors. If you want something done in your country, you're inviting us in to invest. We will invest. And if you do not have the resources, we will do it for you. And you say that if you have the money to pay us on a short term. If you do not have the money, pay us on a long term. Ganon. Nandito yun tourism, but itong Boracay, sinabi ko, will be closed. And I am, alam mo kasi ang problema dyan sa Boracay. Kasi itong kayo, nauna kasi kayo. I never mentioned about Boracay. I was mentioning it about closure. Anong work na? There is always, sabi ni Simato, there is an entrance, egress, and ingress, egress. Then, in the meantime, we repair. Ano plano? Wala pa. We have so many plans about, nandoon na sila. Yung DTI, is the million niya pumapasok dyan sa tulong. Pero it is not for use to build something inside the area which you are trying to clean. Now, what's the problem? The problem is the whole of the island, according to the Supreme Court, is really forestal, pati agriculture. I do not know how many of those guys that were given rights or a title over the land na kung wala pang act of Congress would be good, or a presidential proclamation. President Arroyo, when she was talking to me about a week ago, she never signed any proclamation segregating a portion of that area as commercial. And yet you find so many hotels, entertainment and everything. And even something like, mentioned like, sabi, casino. I never discussed that. Tapos na Duterte. If you really want to know ang sa puso ko, I would give it to the farmers. Kasi agriculture yan eh. And mind you, I am not inclined to declare anything there as a commercial area. And therefore, if you lose your billions there, I'm sorry. Because I said I'm not signing any proclamation until the end of my term. So kung magbagawa ka dyan ng hotel, disgrasya ka because it's agriculture. then we will have to dismantle your hotel, suffer the loss and losses, and that's a problem. I would like to declare it as a land reform area. Ibigay ko muna sa Pilipino. Bakit ko ibigay sa mga mayaman? Bakit ibigay ko sa mga foreigners? Sila ang kikita, anong iwan mo sa taga Boracay? Edi sweldo nila. Then all those germs being spewed. Adi unahin ko na lang yung Pilipino. Sirahin ko yung Boracay and let others also. You made it dirty? Oh well, fine. Fine with me. So sirahan ko yan so that the others will also grow. There are many resorts. Bohol, Cebu, Palawan. And they will have a chance also, a shot at maybe what is the goods the country can offer. That to me is it consoles me enough na yung ibang resorts mabubuhay. Boracay, I will clean it and do not wait for any schedule because I am not inclined to proclaim anything there that would change the category from forestal agriculture then to... So if you ask me now, I'll give it to the Filipino farmer.
Sir, regarding the West Philippine Sea, have you discussed with
No,
President Xi?
it is not the appropriate time to do it. But as I have said, I will discuss it with the... Bakit ko sisirain ko? They are now offering joint exploration. And from the mouth of the President, China sabi niya, then exploration, maybe we can be extra generous. So why? Bakit ko sisirain yan? For what? At the urgings of the so-called Philippine allies? I want a quarrel. China would say, okay, let's go to war. O di, patay na. Alang-alang magsabi ako, hindi. Kasi sunod-sunod ka ng utos doon. Inuudyo ka eh. Hindi mo pwede yung ganun. It's a national interest. Do you want a massacre? We are nitpicking ka dyan. Pagka ganun. You compare it with the Philippine the Philippine assets all in all. Kulang tayo. Arms and everything. Even people. I'm not ready to sacrifice the life of my policemen and soldiers.
Okay.
For nothing. I'd rather talk about business. Let it float there. Hindi naman manakaw yan eh. China is coming in, offering something. I think it's maybe it's not a gambit, but if it's really from the heart, as I've been saying, yung armas na kinuha ko doon sa China pati sa Russia, to their credit, until today, ni papel o ballpen hindi naghingi yan sa Pilipinas. Never mention about military. Sila ang nag-offer. Kung sabi nila, you have to fortify your forts and your arms, we're just around. And that was also the words of President Putin of Russia.
Okay.
So why go around and pick a quarrel?
Sir, my last question, sir. Before going to China, you declared that Chief Justice Sereno is now your enemy. And then she answered back. May I read what she said, sir? Sabi po niya, you have heard the pronouncement of the President. I was just asking a question that actually needed to be answered. Why the Solicitor General was devoting resources of the government to oust a sitting justice through a quo warranto petition. You heard his answer. His answer betrays the entire story.
Though that make it a problem for you, you forgot for several times you mentioned my name, Justice Secretary. Alam mo kung bakit I castigated you in public? Ignorante ka eh. There was a time we were in the thick of the campaign at sinabi mo sa mga public, do not submit yourself to an arrest unless there is a warrant for your arrest. Sabi ko, hindi ko susundin yan, Madam Justice, kasi bobo yung batas mo. Pag gano'n yan, lalaban lahat yan. Kung walang warrant, if there is a crime committed in the presence of the military and the police, bakit? Magpo-produce pa siya ng warrant galing sa'yo? Kaya sabi ko, torpe ka. That's why you should not be there. For a Chief Justice, hindi mo alam yan? Bakit ka magbigay ng salita ng ganon? Kaya nagalit ako sa iyo because even an ordinary flanker ng law, alam yan na there are instances where the military and the police and persons in authority and civilians for that matter, walang connection sa gobyerno can make arrest, citizens arrest. The crime is about to committed in my presence, or the crime is being committed, or the crime has in fact been committed, tapos tumakbo ka, hinabol kita, and I will make an arrest. You go back to your transcript sa mga announcement mo. Kaya ako talaga ayaw ko. Answer, talaga dapat paalisin ka noon pa. Bubo ka na, putangin mo. Kung anong pinagsasabi mo, kaya sabi mo, gusto ko talaga, ngayon. I am not directing Congress. I am not a member of Congress. I am directing my party mates. O kaya sabi ko, partido man kaya tayo, sumali ka na dito sa PDP. O then, I am asking you to impeach Chief Justice. But the ball is still in the hands of the Supreme Court. And I don't know what's coming her way from you. Yung passionate ng, kita mo na, we're reeling sa drugs. Amerika, tukang ni bato, human rights. Eko dito, human rights. Pasunod-sunod ang mga, kala mo marunong. Kaya sabi ko, mahirap yung tukang. It's a civil way. Tao po, marubo kayong durugista dito, pwede ba kayong huminto? And the irony of the whole is that America is engaged in because they discovered a dark side in the internet. They took over the operations para maraman nila. And after making a complete story, they started to knock. Yung sa internet lahat. Tukang na rin sila. Yan yung problema na. Kasi sabi ko, yung pretended knowledge or pretensions of who you are, stop it. Just because you're the Chief Justice, you are not smart. Kasi kung smart ka, matatag ka dyan. Walang lalaban sa iyo at hindi ka nakakamali sa mga declarations mo. If you are that ignorant, you better go. You are just risking the country into a chaos. Umalis ka na. Tsaka hindi ka dapat dyan talaga in the first place. And that term of yours, until what? 2030? That's too long for an ignorant Chief Justice. It's too long. Tama na yan. Give way. If I were you, I will resign. So I'm asking my party mates in Congress, who am I to direct the Senate? Yung Congress ang ibig sa representatives, because we were talking of impeachment. We are not talking of conviction. Na kung nandyan na yan, the process of impeachment, then you maybe, or you say something like, senators, you convict here. That is far different. I was just appealing to the House of Representatives, we will handle the impeachment. The conviction is something else. For your guidance and information. Nasabi, huwag kayo pumasok dyan na ngayon ang human rights. Noon ko pa alam ang depensa ko. Tingnan mo, tanga nga eh. Pati itong dilema, hindi makasagot. Sa kanya yan nag-umpisa. I studied my case when she was investigating me, ang bank dito sa Davao. I knew then, sigurado ako, na hindi mo talaga ako sabi, you will never have jurisdiction over my person. Not in a million years. I was the only one keeping that secret. Wala namang kasali ang mga kasama ko. I was just testing. Tanong nila isa, yung group of media people said, come and talk to me. Sabi nila, bakit mo nilabas yan? She's a lady. I said, gusto ko lang makita gaano karaming estupido dito sa Pilipinas. Putang ina. Sa totoo lang, especially those na nauna sa buwan. How can you ever, kaya I'm more, sinong pangalan ito? Si Pato? You do not have jurisdiction even to conduct preliminary investigation. There is no basis at all because we were never, the Philippines was not ever a member of that ICC for the reason that there was no publication. Pag walang publication, tapos mo diretso ka lang, at saka dyan sa treaty na yan, sabi ni Professor Roque at si Professor Panelo, this guy is very smart. Sa kanila, may double jeopardy. That if you are acquitted, they have the right to an appeal. In this jurisdiction sa ating Constitution, double jeopardy is prohibited. Pag naka-inosente ka, inosente ka. And government cannot refile the case forever because double jeopardy is never allowed. Nandyan sa treaty, sabi ni Panelo pati ni Roque, I did check, both of them, nandyan, which is a violation of our Constitution. The publication is a violation of our Constitution. Because of the Tuvera versus Tanyada. There has to be a publication. If there is no publication, it is as if there is no law at all. Kaya ikaw, Miss Pato, huwag kang pumunta dito because I will bar you. Not because I am afraid of you, I said. Because you will never have jurisdiction over my person. Not in a million years. But what is your authority now? If we are not members of the treaty, why are you in this country? You cannot exercise any proceedings here without basis. That is illegal and I will arrest you. But hindi ako matatakot. I said, you can never hold me to the International Criminal Court. Simply because your position is flawed and cannot be corrected anymore. So, stop your nonsense. Kayong mga taga-UN, you're better off. You have so many problems to solve. At hanggang ngayon, wala kayong napakikita. There are bombings there. Hospitals of children are being bombed. Wala kayong... Ito, I will address to si Madam sa Burma, I will apologize to you, but if you have noticed, my statement was almost a satire or just paying Kasi sabi na itong mga Europeans, there's a lot of violations sa human rights in Burma. So, sige sila atake sa Burma. Sabi ko, well, meron dyan sa Burma, there are a lot of human rights violation. So what are you doing? Sabi ko, do you have any plans of providing a safe sanctuary even for a moment for those who are really the victims of war? There's a civil war going on. Wala sila. They just keep on criticizing Asong Si, pati yung iba. Ngayon, bakit sinabi ko yan? Madam Chancellor, let me confess to you publicly. I was doing a very sarcastic so I was just adapting their findings that there are a lot of violations in your country. I am not ready to intervene in your... I was just using, because I said, if you are willing, you guys in Europe, to receive, provide sanctuary, or in the meantime, allow the Rohingyas to stay with your country, I will also do it. Sabi ko, madaldal kayo, o sige, mayroong mga tao dyan na wala talagang mapuntahan. Why don't you provide any relief? Because tangkapin ninyo yan sila. Provide a temporary shelter. You European guys. Oh. May anong sagot? Wala. Ako sabi ko, I'm willing. I am not using the Islam as a excuse. I'm just talking about the human being. If you are really worried to death and keep on attacking Asong Si, then you provide the relief. Bigyan mo sila ng accept the refugees. If you're willing to do that, I am ready to accept my share of responsibility in the name of humanity. Sige nga. Puro daldal lang kasi kayo. Now, you know the reason why you are so unpopular in, you just it's not a dust that you can just sweep on under the rug. Hindi nyo alam ang sentimento ng mga Orientals. You know why we have this deep, deep wound in our hearts? Because you colonized us. You occupied our country and lived off of the fat of the land. And you killed so many of our forebears. Kaya lahat kami may sentimento. You can say, it happened. No? Is that the American explanation? It happened 2 centuries ago. But lahat kayo dyan, Britain occupied Malaysia. The Dutch, where the Hague is, doon ba? You occupied Indonesia. Are you ready just because it was in the past, just forgetting it? You occupied practically Britain, Germany, Italy. You occupied the Middle East. Got most of their oil. You went well in advance in development because of the oil that you got almost for free from Africa. Kaya galit ang mga Middle East sa inyo. At yung mga ninyo within the tribal, the rising tribal hatred is the blacks. They will never forget that they were just pulled out from their civilization and brought to America to be slaves. Sabihin ko na sa inyo because you're not willing to talk about it publicly. So I will give you an idea why. Tingnan mo yung treatment niyo doon. You just do not say it because you don't want to talk about it. But what? Kaya ganun. That was also the same sentiment of Obama. Even he was president, he was talking about, really, hanggang dito ka lang. There's a certain space there now which is reserved for the whites. Ganun yan. Huwag na lang tayong maglukuhan. Kaya ganun ang galit na lang namin. Kagaya ng Balangiga Bells. Kung kinuha lang ninyo yon, okay lang sa amin. Pero kinuha ninyo, pinatay ninyo, as ordered, turn the place into the howling winds and hang the dogs. How dare you criticize us for human rights? Better learn from your history. I am killing here criminals and drug people because of your laws there, which is really loss sa amin. Nakita mo na sa inyo. Then you are suffering now, and you had to declare it a national emergency. What did I say 6 months ago? You remember? You Americans, you will find it to your horror and sorrow one day in the future that your problem of drugs in America is far more serious than what we are suffering here. Remember? I've never been a prophet, but I've always been hard in my... I do not apologize for it. I offer no excuses. Yan ang bunganga ko, kasi yan ang totoo. Ala kayo dyan. Me, I have to protect my country. I have to go around. Who are the friendly guys? Who would help us? Kayo, binitin ninyo kami. The reason why I had to go to China and to Russia was because you stop it. Itong Canada, pabili sila ng helicopter. What we're saying is that there's a lot of trouble here. I am facing how many fronts? The NPA, the Moro insurgency. It's not a Muslim, it's Moro insurgency. It's a question of homeland and territory. Then the terrorists and the drugs. Magbili kami, then only to be told na, no, we're deliver the choppers, but you cannot arm it. It's only good for evacuation and emergency. So, 23 helicopters para emergency. Kargahan ko raw ng mga evacuation, pati mga sundalo. 23 helicopters, karami yan. Magpatay pa ako ng sundalo ko para magamit ko lahat. 23, ano gamitin mo sa airlift? You cannot use it against your citizens. That's what quote unquote. Well, I'll tell you now. There are many citizens of ours. It cuts across the tribal, the different tribes in the country. They are up against government. They are dealing it with the terrorism and war. No, you want me to just sit on my ass and accept an order of 323 attack helicopters that I could even bring an M16 just because they are my citizens? Why? Is it our fault? You know. That's the reason why it took me this long to explain to the public. That's the rationale or rationale of why I'm going around making friends with everybody because I do not trust you anymore. Binitin mo kami nung last minute and Canada isa ka pa. Well, I said, I will remember you for all time. Yes, what is your next question?
Thank you so much, sir. Good morning.
So for standing up there, yung lang isa.
Mayong buntag, Sir Hernel Tokmo, ABS-CBN Davao. Sir, with regards to the issue of housing units for typhoon survivors, many houses are still unoccupied kasi sinasabi nila na delikado daw na tirahan, substandard, and some houses are also built along danger zones like in New Bataan, Compostela Valley. Will the government look into this, or to the contractors and NHA?
Maniwala ka niyang issue yan ng left. Lahat na lang gawin ng gobyerno mali. Kaganda noon. Baski bombahin mo kalima yan, nandiyan para katindig pa yung ginawa ni General De Rosario. He's one guy who never fool everybody. He will never do that. Siguro kung hanggang dyan lang yung roof mo, ano bang gauge niyan sa, ano sabi tawag nila, ano ba tawag ng sin sa Tagalog? Yero. Ayaw mo kasi mag-aral ng Bisaya eh.
Will there be an investigation, sir, considering itong mga housing units sa
No,
typhoon?
I do not. That's created by the left. I will not do it. Because I trust the people who are doing it. Precisely, I called General Edel Rosario. He was the task force Davao. He was good and is still good until now.
But these housing units, sir, yung previous administration pa ito, sir, yung sa mga for Bagyong Pablo survivors and Yolanda, for example, itong sa
wala
New Bataan.
kaming ginawa doon. At least in the meantime, you elected a carpenter na ano eh. That's not mine. Ang akin dito, you go to Marawi and it's not really a fashionable house. But it can provide the temporary sanctuary of a family. At least from the elements. Wala ka ng mga left na yan. I trust Del Rosario. I will not investigate anything. Yung doon, tignan ko. But only, sabi ko kay Del Rosario, if we can do it simultaneously, if we can improve on the situation there. Pero hanggang pagbabarilin mo yung mga sundalo ko, wala. Compostela, tapos mag-repair yung mga sundalo ko, tapos papagbarilin nila. Of course not. My soldiers are there to kill you, not to be the subject of at the receiving end of the conversation dito.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Sir, habol lang ako, isang question lang po, sir.
Navy naman ngayon.
Sir, I just would like to know about your Facebook skills kasi there was a time before, I think in 2015 or 2016, there were groupies or yung mag-selfie, and then you asked me once, day, unsa man ang tag, meaning to say, how yung tag, yung picture itag yung isa, so I explained to you. And now you even said something about the use of smartphones na ayaw mo kasi gusto mo tawag diretso, ganon.
Everybody knows it.
Yeah. Now, ang question ko is
Why do I use that stupid thing? Pag bindot ko na gano'n, 5 ka buok ang lalabas. Gago.
Sir, ang question...
Mabuti pa yung Nokia ko.
Sir, ang question ko po, kasi Cambridge Analytica, yung Facebook, said 1.1 million yung data ng mo. It has something to do with your election, yung campaign in 2015.
Niwala.
Kaya ako nga tinatanong because that time, hindi ka sa Facebook eh. And
wala akong Cambridge, Oxford, basta yung aking kampanya, simple lang. Kung ayaw ninyo sa akin, ito ang sabi ko sa Luneta. Ito yung Cambridge, pati Oxford. Itong akin baka Columbia to. Sabi ko, kayong lahat na naniniwala sa pare, naniniwala sa Diyos, at ayaw ninyo ng patayan sa mga droga, gusto nyong buhayin mo yung mga putang inang yan, diyan kayo. Ngayon, kung sino yung gustong patayin ko, tapos gusto ninyo na tao na, nandyan si Inday, ganoon, tapos gustong magpunta ng imperno, patayin na natin at durugista dito kayo. See what happened. Ba't ako Cambridge ka pa dyan?
Eh, sila man may sabi.
Wala akong alam. Hindi ko makilala yan. Honestly, I don't believe dyan sa survey. Kita mo, unto the last day, kailan lang ako gumanon? Well, ikaw, nakatawag ka ba? Hindi ako nakagamit ng, ayaw ko ngayon putang inang yan. Kasi isang toolbook mo, dalawa. Mag-ano ka numero, 3-4, maglabas o 5-6. Ano ka klase itong yawa na ito? Huwag ako naniwala yan, Cambridge na yan. Hindi ako naniwala niyan. Tsaka bakit ako magbayad sa mga ugok na taga-Cambridge ang magtrabaho para sa kampanya ko? Lalo ako matalo niyan.
Thank you, sir.
Sabay ka to si Tony Boy, ayun pa, nagbigay ng pera. Yun ang Cambridge talaga na tama. Kaya na Cambridge, ako bang bayad sa iyo, matalo pa ako. Wala yan, kalukuhan niya. Maniwala ka dyan mga taga-Maynila, wala nang ibang
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning po,
Believe
sir.
ka mo sa Cambridge.
Tanong.
Next.
That's all, Mr. President. Thank you so much.
I'd like to thank everybody who joined me in my entourage. Ito, palakpak lahat ng media, wala. Huwag ka na sumutpot ulit. Pakpak kayo dyan. Ito, lagi. Sunod, barred kayo. You clap your hands first before I talk. And remember that. Sige. Hindi, bitaw tama. Thank you for your time, video guys. This is just joking.